Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and we have Saturday Night Main Event tomorrow. And it's a pretty loaded card when you think about it, with having like the way that they wanted to do, like kind of as like main roster versus bright NXT stars. I think they did pretty good with the three matches they put together. John Cena's retirement match, not a big fan of it being Gunther, just because really I feel like if John Cena as his person, he should be putting somebody over or having a match with somebody that would have a nice, push by having that match with him. Obviously, Gunther's already over doing whatever he's doing anyways, so I don't think it really matters. But we'll talk about it. I have a couple theories, and we will, try to enjoy. So let's start off with I'm gonna go leave John Cena last. So we got a singles match. We have Cody Rhodes versus Obafemi, the undisputed champion versus the NXT champion. I think this is going to be match of the night, which is kind of hard to call because I feel like all of these are going to be really good matches if they just let them do what they need to do. Like, just let these guys and girls fucking wrestle. And I probably shouldn't have cussed there because it might get age restricted, but it's absolutely worth it here because this is what they need to do. They really let these people do whatever they want out there, and I think we could have an absolute banger. I think there's going to be a lot of takes that they want to have like stuff happen, like Drew McIntyre cost Cody Rhodes, and like a lot of those matches can be that. I kind of really hope they don't do that. I could see a few different things happening, and we'll spice it up and try to add a little bit. So hopefully it's not Drew McIntyre, but I could definitely see it being Drew McIntyre. But hopefully they just let them go. I think Cody Rhodes wins. He's the golden child. I really don't think that they're gonna let him lose here, especially clean. Obafemi should absolutely destroy him. But I think with him winning the NXT title, he's not going to the main roster right this second. So that momentum would be great, but I don't think they'd be able to capitalize it on the way that they want to. But I'm still on board for this because like this is gonna be a great match. Honestly, like I said, all three of these matches, like of that, it's not the John Cena match, I think have the potential to be the best matches. Definitely the best Saturday Night Main Event matches that we've seen, and could really finish off this year of special events in a very great way, and I'm hoping so. So we'll see. But yeah, Cody Rhodes wins this one, but we'll see what comes next. So we have obviously the women's singles match with Bayley and Sol. Honestly, I could see this one going either way. The way that they treat Bayley as being somebody who advances talent and does that, I could see her definitely giving Sol the win here, and it could very possibly have Sol get right into that main roster. Sol's been working with like a story injury, so I really hope they don't stick to that. I know Zarya and her have been kind of on the outs, so like Zarya's gonna be there, so this could also be a big stage for Zarya's heel turn, and it could really do some different stuff. It could make Zarya a monster heel at NXT, and then Sol could go to the main roster to escape her, and there could be a lot of good stuff here. I think this is going to be a good match. I think this will be one of Bayley's best matches because she's going to be going against somebody that I think she can really take it to. And like I said, I think a lot of these are just going to be great matches, and then I'm really hoping so at least. And then we get the World Tag Team titles. Uh, I don't think this is a champion match. They said it was, but I actually haven't heard that fully. Like somebody said it, but and like the card here says it. I obviously don't think AJ Styles and Dragon Lee is going to lose, but they face against Javon Evans and Leon Slater. I think this match is going to be super bouncy, super crazy stuff. Von Evans, every time he's had a main roster match, has absolutely brought it. Leon Slater, who's part of TNA, can really show a lot of other people that have not seen him what he can do and just make his stock really high. I do have two things that could possibly happen. Obviously, I do think AJ Styles and Dragon Lee wins. I could possibly see if they wanted to protect both teams, Dark State, the NXT heel factions comes up and attacks them, and then it maybe turns into an 8-man tag match. It could be a nice little twist to get all the baby faces on one side. Possibly let them go like 7-8 minutes and then the match get thrown out, and then have Dark State attack and they just put on another match. I could really see something like that happening, and it would really show off a lot more people and really put Dark State in a huge light, which they get 50-50 on it on NXT, so this could be something different. It's probably not likely, and it's probably just, kind of like fantasy booking to a certain extent, but I think if they wanted to do something spicy, it would be a good way. Plus, I mean, with only having 4 matches on the card, I think they're a little bit of leeway with time that they could probably do something extra like that. I could also possibly see Leon Slater turning on Javon Evans here. It's not very likely, and I could definitely see it vice versa too. Javon Evans just lost his Iron Survivor slot. He won it, and then he was supposed to face Obafemi and lost that to Ricky Saints. So Ricky Saints could also be, factored into costing him. But I think like there's definitely going to be some friction there where maybe Javon Evans is frustrated and turns on Leon Slater, and maybe they have Javon as a heel for a little bit and see how that works out. Maybe with his high flying abilities, he could be a charismatic heel, and you never know. I think there could be some interesting choices here that they could really affect NXT for later on. Obviously, they're probably going to go with the safest option and just have an actual match and have AJ Styles, Dragon Lee just win clean. But I like to be a little spicy sometimes in my production, in my thing, because then I could be like, oh hey, look at this, you know. But let's go into the finale, even though this is so far called as the first match. It is John Cena versus Gunther for his final match. I honestly don't see any really reason to care who wins the match, to be honest, because Gunther winning the match, I don't think really does much other than being like a fun fact. I don't think Gunther needs it. He already retired Goldberg this year. It's just retiring 2 people. It's not like it really does anything unless it's just going to be a gimmick that they kind of have like as like a thing for Gold or for Gunther, like that if they have somebody that they want to retire, Gunther has that match automatically and he just becomes like a thing. Honestly, wouldn't be opposed to that. That's the only reason why I would even remotely be like, yeah, that's what you should do. But John Cena should win. He should be able to take down a giant heel at the time to kind of finish it off. But my theory, I had floated it in another video that will come out tomorrow, more in depth. But I do really hope, even though he's not going to show up, I really do hope The Rock shows up. There could be a couple different scenarios here, so I'll run through them really quickly. But I think, obviously, right off the bat, Gunther goes down there before the bell rings, the rock music hits. He demands to be the final boss, so he is the final match. Kicks Gunther out of the ring. Gunther's like, "What the hell?" type of thing, something like that. I could also see at the end of the match, John Cena either wins, loses. The crowd's embracing him, absolutely loves him. The Rock's music plays. He goes down there, tells them because we talked about like John Cena sold his soul. So like if he sold his soul, then John, The Rock could be like, hey, I want you to keep wrestling. I think obviously John Cena is done, and then The Rock beat him up, and then there's 2 possible ways to do this things. If The Rock is ready and gonna go a WrestleMania match, obviously you could have Cody save him, and The Rock obviously goes in there, does something. I think also very interesting would be Roman, because Roman coming down to save him would be lead to Rock and Roman, which I know a lot of people would be up on, and they could easily get that going with not a lot of build because both people don't show up on a weekly basis. So if any of that leads to that, it would make the moment more iconic, and it won't take away from the retirement because that is something John Cena wants to do. He made a big deal about wanting to put the business in a better spot than where he left it, and some parts of this year has felt really bad. I think this would be one of those things that would make the year feel a lot better and would really lead them into the road to WrestleMania, would really start right at that moment. So I guess we'll see. I'm really excited. I'm actually really pumped for this Saturday night main event. This is probably my favorite one so far. The last one was pretty decent just because I wanted to know if Jey Uso or CM Punk was going to win the title. But other than that, most of them have just been kind of like, it's whatever, we don't see much of anything. 4 matches on the card is always kind of weak for me, but I'm hoping that there's going to be some extra stuff in between in those matches that makes it worth it, because honestly, you could really book all 4 of these matches to have a decent, crazy, cool thing to happen, but I guess we'll see later on if that's the case. But until next time, this has been Japan. Tell me what you guys think, who's winning, what's happening, all that jazz, and yeah, leave a comment below. Bye, guys.